There's a couple of people. I'm going to have Herb from the Pawnee Nation introduce the rest of the Pawnee in just a minute. But there's a couple other people here that I would like to acknowledge. Sherry Beam Calloway. Can you stand? There's Sherry. She helped manage Pahuk, which was the Pawnee sacred site for many, many years, and we're pleased to have you here. We have Ronnie O'Brien, who is in charge of the Pawnee corn here in Nebraska. Thank you for being here. And there's a lot more that I know I haven't introduced, and I am sorry that I skipped you. We'll try to get you around to introducing everybody else. The beginnings of this day started about a year ago when Nick Mosher and Jerry Carlson read about the dedication of the Nebraska Medal of Honor Highway. A Pawnee Scout, Mad Bear, and I won't dishonor him by trying to pronounce his Pawnee name, was included in the 73 people who were honored. Nick and Jerry felt that all the Pawnee Scouts should be honored, so they started the process. They asked the Pawnee Nation through the Business Council for permission, which was granted and encouraged. The section of Highway 22 from near Genoa to near Fullerton was selected because the Pawnee Scouts were recruited from the reservation village, and right now we are in kind of the east end of the Pawnee village. The named section of Highway 22 ends north of Fullerton near the Pawnee sacred site, and there were many older Pawnee villages located along this section. With the highway section defined, the Genoa Indian School Foundation was asked to be the sponsoring organization. Resolutions of support were obtained from the Nance County Commissioners, the City of Genoa, the Nance County Veterans Memorial and Resource Center, and the Pawnee Nation. The application was submitted to the Nebraska State Highway Commission, where it was approved, and Governor Ricketts signed it in January. The event today is happening because of the work of many people, and we want to thank our donors. First, Philip and Sandra Swantak and Jerry and I for paying for the signs, and these other donors for making this day happen. Nance County Economic Development, the Union Pacific Railroad, Helen Schweitzer, Preferred Sands of Genoa, Genoa Community Bank, and Points West Community Bank of Fullerton. We also want to thank our sponsors, the Genoa U.S. Indian School Foundation, the Pawnee Nation, the Nance County Supervisors, Genoa Historical Museum, the City of Genoa, Nance County Veterans Memorial, and the American Legion Post 144, and the many other people who were asked to help and did so. Thank you. I was asked to let you know that there's an informational and photographic display involving the Pawnee Scouts, Frank North, and the 6 Pawnee Scouts buried here, and it's being exhibited at the Genoa Historical Museum. The museum also contains many historical artifacts, photographs, and information. It will be open today from 1 to 5. It's air-conditioned, and they will be providing lemonade and iced tea, so please stop by after the dedication. Also, the Genoa Indian School Interpretive Center will be open. You're encouraged to stop there also. And afterwards, please visit with our honored guest, the Pawnee, and you can come up and view the displays that are here. I would like us to start the program with a blessing that is led by Pat Leading Fox, the head chief of the Pawnee.
Thank you for honoring me. Just going to go before, say a short prayer here, for carry us on through the day. Oh, dear Heavenly Father, again, Lord, I thank you that we can come to you humbly. Father, we're just asking that you just be with us this evening or today, Lord, this afternoon, asking you bless each and every person that's here, their families, Lord, whatever it is that they may be in need of. I ask that you just fulfill it for them and bless them abundantly, Lord. Father, all those that have taken part in making sure this day had come to fruition, I ask that you bless them too as well. We thank you, Lord, again for giving us traveling mercies that we can be here and, for this glorious day. We praise your name, God, and we give you all the glory. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Pat. Now we will have from the Nebraska Department of Roads, James Kindig. He's the District 4 Commissioner.
Thank you, Nancy. Couldn't ask for a better day, could we? It's really, really great. The Pawnee Indian Scouts Memorial Highway, that's what we're dedicating here today. And I want to welcome everybody and thank you for allowing me to speak. This is a great occasion and an honor for me to be here. The Pawnee Scouts Memorial Highway is along Highway 22, Nancy described, where it starts at the junction of 39, goes west to Highway 14, just north of Fullerton. And so Highway 20 is the Pawnee Scouts Memorial Highway. The purpose of naming a segment of the state highway or bridge is to bring to the public attention and recognize officially a person, organization, or other entity who has contributed significantly to the well-being of others. And that's kind of the criteria the state highway commissioners go through in approving and so forth. The Pawnee Scouts fit the criteria, and I'm honored to be here for this dedication. This is truly a part of our history that should not be forgotten, but should be remembered. This goes back to a time in our history that built the area in Nebraska as we know it and is today. What better location than the beautiful Loup Valley here, where the Pawnee Reservation Village was from 1857 to 1875. Back in September of 2020, the application was presented to the highway commissioners. There's 8 highway commissioners in the state of Nebraska, and I need to confess that we all had to refresh our memory on history and read up a little bit and so forth. But in December, all 8 commissioners unanimously voted to approve, and then consequently it went to the governor, and the governor, Ricketts, signed the application and approved the naming. So thus here we are today. This is the 40th such naming, and if you think about that, 74 years of deciding whether to name a highway or not, this is real significant, because 40 such naming of a highway over 74-year span means it needed to be very important, and we felt it was very important as commissioners, and the application that was sent in spelled out not only the history but things that really need to be remembered and so forth. The Genoa U.S. Indian School Foundation, and I think Jerry and Nancy, who filled out most of the application that we received. I'd like to thank, and I think Nancy kind of thanked everybody, so I'm not going to go through all the names and so forth I have written here, but I would like to thank everybody from Pawnee, Oklahoma that are here today. I think that's great. And everybody that was involved in this whole process and this dedication and so forth. I'd like to close with a quote from Dwight Eisenhower. And most of us all here know that Dwight Eisenhower, when he was president, he was the one that really proclamated to build I-80 clear across, and he was a great president. I wasn't very old at the time, but I remember him well. And anyway, this is a quote. Freedom has its life in the hearts, the actions, the spirit of men, so it must be daily earned and refreshed. Else, like a flower cut from its life-giving roots, it will wither and die. And this is very fitting for this Memorial Highway for the Pawnee Scouts. The naming will keep alive the historic events that the Pawnee Indian Scouts achieved. And I guess I'd like to add that it really was an honor for me to be here. It was really great that I could go back in history and read and find out a lot about what I never knew before. And this is a great setting, and this is a great memorial highway. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we are pleased to have Patricia LaBounty here. She's from the Union Pacific Railroad Museum, and she is the director there, and she's been great working with it. Welcome, Patricia.
Hello, everyone. As Nancy said, my name is Patricia LaBounty. I'm actually the curator for the Union Pacific Collection at the Union Pacific Railroad Museum. And I am delighted to be here today and so honored to be part of a naming ceremony to bring Pawnee back to Nebraska and to this area. And Union Pacific has a proud history with the Pawnee Scouts and owes them a great debt. As the gentleman before me said, there had to have been a great betterment of others, and certainly the railroad owes that debt to the Pawnee people. I first encountered the history of the Pawnee Scouts through a research request that I received from an individual who was looking for photographs of Pawnee Scouts to help him complete a book that he was writing, a genealogical work. That was in 2014, and from that time forward, I shared many photographs with the Pawnee tribe and with Walter Echohawk when he was working on his book, The Sea of Grass. And this is an example of one of the photographs that we have in our collection from 1866. This was taken just outside of Cozad, Nebraska. And you know, as you can see on the display behind me up here, there are very few photographs from that time period, and certainly very few photographs of these scouts. And we're honored to take care of that collection at the Union Pacific Museum. Again, I am so proud to be here, proud that Union Pacific is a sponsor of events like this. The railroad was a great advancement for some people. It was a great displacement for other people, and it certainly was part of the history that transformed the West. And so events like this cause us all to reflect upon the complexity that is history and responsibilities that we have as individuals to recognize and memorialize people's parts in that history. And so thank you very much for having me here today.
Thank you, Patricia. Now I'm going to ask Herb Adson to come up and introduce all of the Pawnee who have come up. And we're so honored, and I would like Herb to come up and introduce everyone.
Noa. Natasa. Kuriksahi Pita Hawirata Akitaru. My English name is Herb Adson, and I'm the cultural director of the Pawnee Nation. And so we were invited up here, and I didn't really know who all was coming, but we have 5 of our 8 chiefs here. And so if everybody, if our Pawnee folks will stand up, I'll introduce them. We'll start over here with our head chief here, Mr. Pat Leading Fox, Skeety Band chief. And then also at the drum here is Adrian Spotted Horse chief, Kitkahaki chief. And then over here to the left is Matt Reed, Chawee chief. And then back there, the fellow with the vest on, that's Morgan Littleson Jr., Kitkahaki chief. And then to his left is Tim Jim, Pita Hawirata chief. And then we brought some of our folks with us, our family. And over here to the left is Matt's brother, Todd Vetter. And at the drum is my son, Robert Adson, my wife, Kim Adson. And then back there, I see all I know is my Tweety, but Andrea, sorry about that. And then nephew there, their Sonny boy, and then Tim, your daughter, and then Pat, your wife, Vicky. So that's who's from Pawnee. I think I got them all. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now we are going to be honored with some Pawnee songs, and we're going to, first is it the Pawnee flag song, and if everyone would please rise for the singing of this song. Thank you. That was a memorial song, and so we can include all of the Pawnee Scouts in that song.
Yeah, they could be seated.
What are the next two songs?
War dance songs. They could be
You
seated.
may sit down. The next song is a war dance song.
Yeah, the next two, yeah.
The next two.
Asana,
That was just some beautiful music. I appreciate it very much. Now we would like to hear from the head chief, Pat Leading Fox.
I think I'm done. Maybe just sing them songs, same time like it was singing.
I'd like to say welcome. Really surprised to see this many people here. You know, I didn't expect something like this, but you know, I'm glad you all are here to enjoy this great time. You know, on behalf of our people. You know, I'm sure these songs here, you know, kind of woke up the spirits that are around here of our ancestors, those that are still here. You know, it's always good that, you know, we can sing, especially up here. You know, it hadn't been probably a drum like this here for quite a long time. You know, and it really makes me feel good that we can, you know, sing here. You know, Pawnee Scouts. You know, they are held in a very high honor within our people. You know, everybody I believe in our tribe can they can have lineage to a scout, either directly or indirectly. You know, myself, you know, my father's father was a scout, a sergeant, walked from here, and he's buried back home in Pawnee now. You know, and he was a sergeant, and I was able to come upon his war record. You know, and he did a lot of distinguished tenacity. You know, and I know it wasn't just him. I know it was all of them, because during that 12-year period, none of them lost. They never lost a life. Never did. And like Nancy had mentioned a little bit earlier, you know, we've got one that is a Medal of Honor winner. You know, and his medal is, I believe it's in our headquarters or it's in the museum right now. I don't know. I remember last I seen it was at the headquarters office. So, you know, it's on display there. You know, we've got six of them buried here that was given back to the tribe. Just the skulls. You know, luckily the government saw fit to give them a full military burial, a full military escort from Washington, D.C. to here. You know, and that really does say something, you know, because we had really fought hard to get, you know, our ancestors back in the ground. You know, and like my brother over here said, Herb, you know, we've got these chiefs here. You know, each band of our nation is represented through these chiefs. You know, and I'm really glad. It makes me feel good to see the Sharu here, representing our people. You know, and hopefully they'll have a chance to get something to say something. You know, I'm hoping maybe we can ad lib kind of a little bit later. But you know, so anyway, you know, I'd like to thank some people as well. You know, especially Nancy and Jerry for all they do, and Philip and Sandra Swantek. You know, they've done so much, decades. You know, for a long time. You know, sharing things. You know, there's other people like Sherry. You know, she's done a lot for us. Ronnie, you know, brought back our seeds from near extinction, our corn. Forever grateful for that. Thank you for having that passion to help us. You know, and the others that are here, the one that, you know, from the Roads Commission, you know, for seeing that through to have the governor sign it. That it really does mean a lot to the Pawnee Nation. Like I said, you know, we hold our scouts very high esteem because they were our first soldiers within our tribe. You know, and we hold our veterans to a high esteem as well. Our current veterans, our ones that are still on active duty. You know, we honor them with dances. We have our homecoming coming up here in 3 weeks, that was started by veterans of World War I to honor the returning veterans of World War II. So, you know, that's going to be taking place. You know, like I said, I mean, veterans. Without them, we couldn't be doing this right now. We couldn't. We'd be speaking German, possibly, or Russian. So, you know, in closing, you know, again, I mean, I feel really good. I always feel great when I come up here. Every time I come up here, it's just overwhelming, and I always make sure that I stop and pay tribute to them 6 back there, and to all of them that are buried back there. You know, again, you know, like it's been said before, you know, our Creator has blessed us today with a very beautiful day. You know, we couldn't be any more glad it's not very hot. You know, again, you know, and thank you again, once again.
Thank you, Pat. Now we will hear from Herb Adson, who is the cultural resource in charge of the Cultural Resource Division of the Pawnee Nation.
All right. Well, thank you again for their hospitality you've shown us. We had a nice meal earlier today, and then we had a photo of the sign that was made, and so we all took a picture of that. So, again, thank you. We want to continue to say that. Thank you for what you've done for us. You welcomed us back to our homeland, and so I kind of said my part, who I was, first part, and then we made our expression through the singing. And like I said, the first song that was about the flag here. And then the other 3 were old-time songs that were from here. Those songs were sung in Nebraska back in the old days here. And so we're going to sing a couple more at the end. And those last 2 songs, one is going to be a song made by one of our chief's grandfather. It talks about our migration that we left when we left here to Oklahoma. And then the last song will be a Pawnee prayer song or appreciation song that we'll end with. But I want to give a chance to my other chiefs that are here to get up and speak. So whatever order you want. I know nephew Adrian's here. Then my brothers are back here, Brother Morgan and Brother Tim. If y'all want to make your way up here, we'll give you some time to express yourself. So.
Noah, my name is Morgan Littleson. I'm representing the Kitkahocky Pawnee Nation. Say welcome and good to see each and every one of you. Thank you for inviting us up here, and and then the good meal that you fixed for us earlier. And like what's been said already, you know, feels good to be back up here in our motherland. And so I'm just Feel real good today. Feel real honored to be here. And just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And God bless each and every one of you as well. Aho.
Noah, tata sa sawakiri today saru, kitka hockey the saru. My name's Adrian Spotted Horse Chief, and my Pawnee name is Spotted Horse Chief. And I represent I'm the second chief of the Kitka Hockey Band. And I'm thankful to be here myself. I'm always glad to see Jerry and Nancy. You know, I met them years ago in Kansas, and have had a great relationship with since then, and I've met different ones even here in the community throughout my time traveling up through here. I was telling some of the folks when I was about 8 years old, my grandparents brought me through here, and I didn't really understand a lot of stuff at the time, you know, but they brought me right over here to this intersection over here, and they told me that this is where we lived at long time ago, you know. And then they took me into town here to the bank, and there was a little old white man there, and he was I guess in charge of that museum. And he really enjoyed it, you know, and I enjoyed looking at all the artifacts and stuff that he had there, you know. And he gave me some things, and he told me, he said, these belong to you. He said, they belong to your folks from a long time ago. And I still have those things. And I know he's long gone, you know, and everything, but I still remember those kind of stuff, just like the stories that I heard growing up with my grandparents. I grew up with them, and I got to be around people that were older than them, and I got to hear stories about this place. So I'm thankful for every time I come up here, I get to actually set foot on some of these places of the stories that I heard, some of the things that's been recorded in history. You know, and I'm thankful for all of the people that had a part in making this possible. I'm thankful to all of you all that acknowledge us, that think of us, that try to take care of this land around here. Because some of you all may not know, but we've been here for a long time. You know, some of our ancestors are still here under this earth around here, all around. You know. And then so I'm truly thankful, you know. And then myself, when I come up here, this is not my second or third trip up here. I've been up here quite a bit, you know. And every time when I stop around here, somebody always, I always tell people, you know I look from out of town, you know. But everybody's always been open arms, share stories with me, you know, and tell me about where they live at and the stories that they've heard, you know. And so I'm thankful for that. So sometimes, I don't know when I come up here. I just, you know, sometimes I just come up here. So if you ever see a vehicle that has a Pawnee tag and you see me around on the side of the roads, that's probably me, you know. So don't get worried or scared or anything. But I like to pick cedar. I like to pick cedar around here, and I like to pick sage and take it back home for ceremonies that we use, you know. I try to tell our folks that this comes from our homeland, you know, and stuff, and they get a little more spiritual well-being from it, you know. So I can't thank you enough, you know. Myself too, when I come up here, I make an effort to go stop up over here, you know, and recognize and acknowledge our scouts, you know, and I try to drive around the countryside to different sites and stuff, and then I try to stop in and see Jerry and them, you know, whenever I'm around, you know. So sometimes I stop over there unannounced, you know. And so, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful to you all. I'm thankful that you guys acknowledged our scouts, because, like our head chief said, you know, our veterans are very important to us. You know, we honor our warriors, you know, as best as we can. We have songs. These songs that we sing talk about times around here, you know, our war songs, you know, stories that come from about those times. And so we try our best to honor our military people, you know. It doesn't have to just be scouts. It'd be from Plains Indian Wars all the way up to Afghanistan, you know. We've had a Pawnee in every conflict that this country has been in. We've had a Pawnee there, you know. And so we're very, very appreciative of that, and we acknowledge those efforts, you know. And so So that's all I want to say. You know, I'm thankful to be able to be here. I just wanted to kind of sit in the back too, you know, but I'm glad I'm able to have opportunity to sit here and sing and spend some time even with my own folks, you know, coming up here and sharing the stories that I got to hear and with you all as well. So thank you for the food, for the hospitality, and once again, I'm truly blessed to be able to be here in our homeland again. So thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Tim Jim. I represent the Pete the Howard Band of the Pawnee Nation. Again, I'm thankful to be here too, you know, and there's a lot of history here. This is probably my third time coming up this way. My daughter and I, we came through here about 3 years ago and spent some time here. But I used to hear stories, you know, from my grandpa. My grandpa, his name was Philip Jim, and his father was Captain Jim. He was a captain of the original Pawnee Scouts. So it's kind of, you know, in my lineage, you know, and I'm proud of that. And I live in Pawnee. I've been there for about 25 years now. So as my brothers were saying, you know, we hold the veterans in high esteem and high regard because they fought all these many wars. But my daughter too, you know, she's trying to carry that on. She's in the Air Force. She's back there. But I just want to say I'm thankful. And I feel blessed when I come here. You know, last time I was here, people were really, like Adrian said, with open arms. You know, and we took us all in. And today, you know, I just felt that same love and that same compassion, and I'm thankful for that. You know, we went to some of the sites yesterday and walked around and talked. You know, I just felt I felt humbled because my ancestors walked these lands, and we lost a lot of them here, but it's just a humbling experience to be here. I'm glad I got to come this time, and that's about all I have to say, other than, you know, y'all have a great day. Thank you.
Now we will hear from Matt Reed with the Historic Preservation Office of the Pawnee Nation.
Padi Akitadu. Can you hear me now? Yeah. These things make me nervous. I'm used to speaking without one, so I'm not real sure what else to say that hasn't already been said. Hold on. We're getting strafed. In my job, I could stand up here for 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours and tell you all kinds of history. You know, it is a great honor, just like what everybody else has said, for this highway to be named after our Pawnee Scouts, because we hold them so dear to our heart. It's a very pivotal, important part of our history. You know, if there is one thing that you leave here today, you know, knowing, I hope that you realize that, you know, when we say scouts, that we're not talking about just, say, civilians, you know, that the Army hired or something, that these men were actually enlisted into the U.S. Army. They're soldiers in the U.S. Army. They have their own battalion with their own officers and everything. And, you know, we were recruited off and on for 12, 15 years. And the last time that they recruited Pawnee Scouts, they came all the way back down to Oklahoma and recruited about 100 plus men, and then come back up here to Nebraska. But then they went on up and fought against our enemies in Montana and Wyoming. And then from then on, you know, we've had Pawnees that served in the Army in every war. If you look at this flag up here, you'll see these arrowheads, and that's what each one of those represents, all the way up until now. So I don't know what else I could add on to without making everybody fall asleep. We're very honored by having this highway named after our scouts, and just want to say, you know, thank you to everybody. Also want to apologize to a small group of you. We were late getting to this meal. It was, you know, I'm very thankful that you did that for us, but we had our wires crossed. I didn't know we were supposed to be there, so we went and ate at the cafe downtown, and then we come back out here and ate again. So I'm really full. It's all good, but I'm really full. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done. In my capacity as Tippo, you'll probably see me around here a lot. There's a couple bridges that are going to be replaced at Genoa, and I'll be back. So you'll probably see the truck around here with Pawnee Nation down the side of it and everything. And if you see me, stop and say hi. And like Adrian was saying, you might see me out cutting plants and things like that. So just know who I am. And so thank you very much for everything you've done.
Thank you so much, Matt. Now we are going to have 2 songs. The first one is talking about the migration from here to Oklahoma, and the second one is a prayer song.
Hey,
Thank you, everybody.